What if I told you there was one simple adjustment you could make at setup that would instantly produce a more mechanically sound golf swing? And not only that, this change requires zero practice for you to implement into your swing. You can do this instantly. Today, I'm going to share that setup adjustment with you and 5 reasons why you should be implementing this into your golf swing immediately. And the simple adjustment that I'm referring to is to simply take your trail foot and pull it back at setup. This setup produces a foundation from which a mechanically more advantageous swing can be made. It's an instant way to improve your technique regardless of your current level. I promised you 5 reasons why you would want to do this, and one of them would be that the best players in the world are choosing to practice in this exact stance. I even take this same stance onto the course when I play, and you can too. This requires zero practice on your part to see instant improvements. So let's walk you through the benefits. The first one would be that for many of you, you have a restriction in your backswing. You can't make a full turn. Pulling your trail foot back actually begins to close the hips immediately, and it gives it a greater range of motion in the backswing. So you can turn your hips more degrees in the backswing. That's reason number 1, and that's advantageous, which leads to reason number 2, which is you can make a longer backswing. You can have the hands traveling further around you in the backswing than maybe you're currently able to do. And a longer backswing gives you more potential power. Now, I choose the phrase there carefully, more potential power. We'll talk about the transfer of that power into the ball later, which is another reason why having your trail foot back will help you. But in the first instance, creating a longer hand path, meaning the hands travel for longer in the backswing, gives you a greater potential power, potential energy to put into the ball. And that's great because that means more distance. So there's 2 reasons immediately in the backswing to pull your trail foot back. Number 1, it increases the hip turn. And number 2, it helps you to move the hands and the club further around you. Reasons number 3 and 4 will refer to the downswing and how you can improve the transition of your swing from backswing to downswing and reduce a great problem that many of you have, which is early extension. If I have my trail foot pulled back, the very first benefit that I'm going to get in transition is the fact that as I start down, the hips stay closed and they stay slightly left tilted for a small period of time. Now, what I mean by that is that there's a very unhealthy obsession right now with golfers opening up their hips in the downswing. That leads to golfers who often spin and turn their hips too quickly, and that leads to swings that get steep and over the top. So that would be a golfer who gets to the top, starts the downswing with too much rotation. You see how my hips aren't moving forwards at all, they're just turning. And what that's doing to the club and the hand path is to steepen it, causing me all sorts of issues as I go down towards the ball. Having the trail foot pulled back allows for the first piece of the downswing to be a transition where the hips stay slightly closed and the weight starts to move more forwards from this front view. If you think about the movement of the hips in the downswing, there's more of a sway to begin with before the turning piece takes over. Many of you get that sequence incorrect. So you get an improved sequence by pulling the trail foot back because it encourages the hips to move forwards first and then turn second. Once again, you're getting all of this for free. You really don't need to think about any of it. This is why I say this is a mechanically more advantageous way to swing. Pulling the trail foot back helps all of these things to happen pretty much automatically. Now, point number 2 in the downswing, which would be reason number 4 to pull your trail foot back, would be to reduce the problem of early extension. Thrusting the pelvis towards the ball in the downswing, creating problems with contact and losing the directional control of your ball. This is a problem I know many of you suffer with. The right foot tends to climb off the ground too quickly, the right knee pokes out towards the ball, and the pelvis pushes towards the ball as well. That causes the shaft to raise up. We get problems with inconsistent contact and even shanking. A huge problem for so many of you, but pull your trail foot back and you get the benefit of it keeping your pelvis back. So as we start to swing down, keeping the right leg back keeps the pelvis back, reduces the early extension, helps me to get the club, my arms down in front of me in the downswing. This is a wonderful position here where you have all of this space to swing your arms down into. No more steep shafts in the downswing. This is a very natural way to deliver the club straight down the plane into this wonderful space, as I say, that you've created right here. Keep the right foot back, keep the right foot down on the ground, and you get all of these pieces for free. This is altogether the most beneficial way that you could change your setup right now. Those are 4 reasons. Reason number 5, though, is probably my favorite. It's the reason you watch Scotty Scheffler's footwork in the downswing and the follow through, that crazy looking footwork that he has, which is also demonstrated by a number of other players, just not to quite a large extent. But by having the trail foot back, you get the benefit of breaking the lower body, slowing it down, so that that extra power that we created earlier, if you remember, that extra potential power that we created, can be transferred into the ball. So many of you are turning your hips and your body at the same speed in the downswing and the follow through. That would be one of the slowest ways that you could swing and one of the least efficient ways to transfer the energy from the club out into the ball. If I turned my body, my hips and my club at the same speed, this would be a particularly slow way of moving this club head. If, however, I pulled my trail foot back, which would help to break or slow down my hips as I come down, the energy of the club would be thrown out towards the ball more. This is similar to a cracking of the whip. The breaking of the hand as you crack the whip gets the energy out into the end of the whip. It's a similar concept. So breaking or slowing down of the hips is part of a good golf swing. Even the best players do it. There's so many examples of this happening in great swings. You just don't see it, and it's not talked about a lot because there's been this over obsession, as I mentioned, of turning and opening up the hips, which really doesn't happen until much later in the swing. So pull the trail foot back for all of the benefits mentioned. Bigger hip turn in the backswing, longer hand path, stay in that left tilt starting down. That gives you that wonderful transition of just crushing the can with that lead leg. That's a video I've made before, that initial transition of the weight moving forwards whilst the arms drop down. No early extension, and then all of that energy can be thrown out into the ball. You can certainly practice like this immediately and see great benefits. And as I say, you can also play golf like this as well. It really ticks so many boxes for free, things that happen pretty much automatically, including the fact that it reduces a golfer's tendency to overturn and over-rotate in the follow-through. Having the trail foot back and keeping the trail foot down for longer as you swing through will really improve your ball striking. It will help you to not only make better, more consistent contact, hit the ball straighter, and just have more energy and distance into your shots than you currently are benefiting from. It may feel like you're making less swing, but you're actually putting more energy into the ball. You can do this immediately. You can take this to the driving range as soon as you go there. The next time you can even stand on the first tee and give this a shot. Does this work for the driver? Let's find out. And I would say this absolutely works for the driver. In fact, it may be even more beneficial and more mechanically advantageous with the driver. For so many of you, you're struggling to make that turn and get that sufficient depth in your backswing, somewhat due to maybe aging bodies and less flexibility. Pulling the trail foot back, as I've already mentioned, helps to preset some of that hip turn that we want in the backswing, increases the amount that we can turn our hips, and as a result, the depth and the length of our backswing with the driver. That, for many of you, will improve your driving immediately because a longer, deeper backswing will lead to a more efficient into-out club path, and it will give you more hand speed, more club speed, and ultimately more ball speed. You're going to hit the ball further. So just try it next time you play. Pull your trail foot back with the driver, allow your hips to turn fully, which will give you this completed backswing, and then from there you can just let the swing go. You can literally just swing down to the ball as you would have done before. Embrace the feeling of this trail leg being back, and it may feel like there's a slight restriction in the downswing in the sense that your leg is staying back and down for longer, but understand that that's a good thing. Watch good golfers, they're not pushing their leg or their knee towards the ball. This foot staying down, this leg staying long, and that allows us to make that movement through the ball that all the best players do. Feels pretty effortless. This change in my setup really transformed my swing and allowed me to hit the ball like that, push draws pretty much all day long. If you're looking to improve your quality of your contact, if you'd like to maybe draw the ball for the first time ever and improve each club in your bag, I would highly encourage you to implement the right foot back next time you play or next time you practice. So while we're only just into the first month of the year, this could well be the most important video you watch in 2025. There are so many reasons to implement this change into your setup immediately. Instant results, zero practice. There really isn't a reason not to give this a try. I mentioned in the video that one of the benefits to doing this would be the fact that it would help you to draw the golf ball if you've never been able to do that before. Something you may be interested in is my new Draw Every Ball video series that I recently released just before Christmas. This is a 10 video series that includes everything you need to do from setup all the way through the swing, including drivers and drills, to be able to draw every single golf ball. I'm going to leave a link for this video series down in the description below, and there's a discount code you can use to save 20% off your purchase. I'm excited to let you know I'll be in America in the next few weeks, filming content with other YouTube creators and also teaching golf clinics with fellow Stack and Tilt instructors. I'm really excited about my schedule, and I do have some openings for individual lessons as well as spots on some half-day teaching clinics. If you're looking for more information, please reach out to me by email, or you can go onto my website where you'll find more information. This video practically dismisses the idea that you must have a square or neutral stance in order to play good golf. It's simply not true, and in fact, as I've mentioned, there is a mechanical advantage to playing golf with your trail leg pulled back. Give it a try next time you're out there. Stack and Tilt have been talking about this staggered stance or bowler drill for many years now, and if you'd like to learn more about the bowler drill, you can go and watch this video next, which I made on the exact bowler drill that's being implemented by hundreds of PGA Tour players.